What was it like in the early days when Jose first came over and you went to go and work at Chelsea? What was the aura of the man in those days?
No, he was absolutely brilliant. It was a great step for me at that time. I'd been at Reading and had a lot of great experiences within the youth academy there, and now this was the opportunity to go to a big club like Chelsea, and the manager that was coming in was the European champion. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience. He was obviously very charismatic. He had a great way with the players. He was different to what the league would have seen. He had a wonderful personality, and he was very open in his communication with me. He was very sharing of ideas. Like I said, I was able to be in pole position really for learning. Just watching how he operated, and just seeing someone that could, as I said, work closely with players, but obviously have that respect as well. So yeah, he was absolutely outstanding in that period.
How do you see this game playing out then? If Tottenham, once again, if they play like they did against Liverpool, soaking up pressure and then looking to counter, because it's quite similar to the way Leicester play themselves.
Not really. Not in certain games. We've played that way. I think that as you say, you've seen Jose's team, and we had a sample of it towards the end of last season, where we get done from a corner and done on a few counter attacks as well. So I think the first goal is going to be very important. I mean, you don't want to be conceding too early, because they show that they can they stay deep and in a defensive block, and then they get players that can really hurt you on the counter. So yeah, but we're looking forward to the challenge. They're a point ahead of us, second in the table. So it's a game that I'm really looking forward to.
Obviously, on the bouncing back side of things, how important are the because you've already spoken about the youthful side of the squad, those more experienced players that are dotted around, how important are they in and around the training ground, on the bus down to games and before games, and of course during the match itself, to help the younger players bounce back and almost lead the way for them in an attitude sense in order to do that? Yeah,
well, and that's what senior players are about. They've been there before. They understand that you can never get too carried away either way. It's you lose a game, it's disappointing, but you got to get in the next day and get on with it again, and especially with the games being so tight in this schedule. So that's something that is basically about a mindset, and our mindset is very, very strong. It's a very resilient group that we have, and we will look to get back on track again.
It's been spoken about Tottenham that they have some of the best counter-attacking, sort of plays and directions in the Premier League at the moment. And I just wonder how you think it might be best to set up to defend against that, because we've seen you play a 3 at the back formation that can sometimes become a 5 in the defensive system, but also we've seen a 4 at the back as well. What do you think works better against that counter-attacking football that they might implement on Sunday?
Well, I think it's that balance between when you're attacking the game, that you're also protecting when you're building the game. So like you say, I think last season, you think the game that we lost 3-0, where we conceded early in that first half, there was a goal from a corner and 2 from other sort of breakaways, where we weren't really in big danger. But such is the quality, the likes of Son and Harry Kane up front are 2 of the best players in European football in terms of their qualities, and Son in particular with his running ability. So, but they also have other players as well. So it's just that balance between the attack and making sure that you're protecting, and those moments to press, and when you have to defend that a little bit deeper. So you have to play a really, really good game to get a good result, and that's what we'll plan to do.